This email is about CELPIP writing task 1. So today we are going to break down the CELPIP writing task 1, which is all about writing an email or letter. But instead of just giving you one rigid template, I will share a really flexible 6-part structure that works for all kinds of task 1 prompts: compliance, request, apology, so and so, right? And show you exactly how to adapt it so you don't sound like you are copying a script. Let me tell you the need to use a template. When you sit for a simple task 1, time is tight, right? You get 27 minutes. So having a solid structure helps you to organize your ideas quickly. And also, a template gives you a skeleton like greeting, context, request, closing. So you're not lost when you start typing. But remember, every prompt is a little different. Some are compliance, some are requests, others are apologies. If you stick too rigidly to a fixed template, then your email can sound unnatural. You should use the template as a framework, not a script. So the goal is to adapt the structure to match exactly what the prompt wants while keeping your writing clear, coherent, and polite. Now, this one is a 6-part email structure that works in pretty much all task one scenarios. The first one start with a greeting, with a polite salutation, depending on who you are writing to. This could be formal or semi-formal. For example, formal, then you can start like Dear Mr. Smith. Or if you're writing in a semi-formal tone, then it should be like Hello Jane, right? The tone will depend on the situation, like building manager, customer service, or a friend or a colleague. Got it? And the next one is purpose or the introduction. Try to immediately state why you are writing and try to keep it very short, like 1 or 2 lines is enough. Example, I'm writing to bring to your attention, or I'm writing to ask about so and so. So keep it in short, 1 or 2 lines. And then comes the background or the context. Provide the relevant details when something happened, who was involved, any other factual information. So this helps the reader understand why you are writing and sets up the rest of your email. And then comes the details or impact. Explain what exactly has gone wrong or what the situation is and how it affects you or others, and try to give concrete examples. If you're complaining, then describe the problem. If you're making a request, you have to say why it is important, right? And then request or solution. You have to clearly ask for what you want: either a repair, a refund, more information, or a follow up. And be polite but direct. Use like, could you please? I would appreciate it. Or would it be possible? So, if relevant, include a suggested time frame or a follow up, like at your earliest convenience by next week. Okay, try to include these little time frames so that it will be easy for the reader. And then closing plus sign off. Wrap up by thanking the reader or expressing hope for a resolution, and try to use a polite sign off that matches your greeting, like sincerely, best regards, kind regards, based on the context. Then your name. Optionally, you can add your designation, okay, if relevant, but not always needed. Let me tell you some self task one scenarios and how you can tweak the above 6-part structure for each. Compliant, if it is a compliant kind of tone, then greeting, formal or semi formal, you can do, right? And purpose, like I'm writing to express my concern, then you can state your concern. And then background information, you have to describe what happened with the dates, what exactly went wrong, or the place, mention everything. And the impact, explain how it's affecting you, like you lost your time or money or any inconvenience caused, mention that. And request, yes, you have to ask for a fix, a refund, or some action. You can say, like, could you please send someone to, or I would appreciate a replacement. Then closing, thank you for looking into this. Got it? So this is for the complaint structure. And if you're writing an apology or an explanation, then state the purpose, start the phrase like, I'm writing to apologize for so and so. Then give the background information, explain what went wrong, and also say it impact, like how it affected the other person and why does it matters. And then request, yes, maybe ask how to make it right or ask for understanding. Then finally, you can just closing it saying that thanks for understanding. Okay, so this is an apology or an explanation email structure. And in case if you're writing for a request or inquiry, then state the purpose, like start with a phrase, I would like to request so and so, or I'm writing to ask, whatever it is. You can just, follow the context and then give the background information. You have to explain why you need that information or service when you are requesting or you're inquiring about, and explain why that is important or if it is urgent. And also you have to clearly ask for the thing that you are looking for, because that's how it goes for request or inquiry. Then finally you can just do a closing like, thank you for your help. Got it? Now let's move on to a sample prompt here. This is a sample prompt. You recently moved into a condo building. The elevator has broken down several times, making it difficult for you to get to work. Write an email to the building manager. Make sure to describe the problem, explain how it affects you, and suggest what action you want. So, when you are looking at the prompt, look for what is the problem, what you're supposed to do. Majorly, you need to connect all the elements that has been given in the prompt and try to come up in your response. Okay. Let me show my response here. Dear building manager, I'm writing to let you know about a recurring problem with the elevator in our building. Over the past week, it has broken down twice in the mornings, which is very frustrating. To give you a bit more detail, on Monday, the elevator stopped between floors just I was heading to work, and yesterday it did not respond when I called for it. Since I live on the 10th floor, taking the stairs is really inconvenient, especially when I'm carrying my work bag. These breakdowns are not just annoying, they are making me late for important meetings, and I'm worried about how reliable the building services are. It would help a lot if you could get a maintenance team to check the elevator soon and perhaps put up a notice about when we can expect any downtime. Thanks so much for your attention to this. I appreciate your help and I hope we can sort this out quickly. Sincerely, you can give your name. Now, let me tell you why this email works. This email answers every part of the prompt, right? If you have seen the prompt, it describes the problem, explains how it affects you, and we have also suggested a solution. And the structure is very clear. I have used a six-part framework, making it easy to read and logically organized. And the tone is also very natural, polite, but not overly formal. The language feels like a real, respectful email, isn't it? And I have given concrete details. I have mentioned specific incidents like over the past week, twice on Monday, which makes it believable and relevant. And also, if you see my suggestion, that is very realistic, right? I have asked for maintenance plus a notice, which is very reasonable and actionable. And the closing is also polite and hopeful, thanks the manager, and shows that I want a resolution. Got it? Now, let me tell you some of the tips and common mistakes that you need to avoid. First one, manage your time. Plan for a few minutes, right then, leave time to review. A good split could be 3 to 5 minutes to plan, 18 minutes to write, 2 to 4 minutes to proofread. Kindly make a note of all these tips, okay? and stick to the word limit. Usually 150 to 200 words is ideal for task 1, and use appropriate tone. That is pretty much important. You have to match how formal or informal the situation is. If it's a business or building manager, don't be too casual. And if it's a friend or colleague, yes, you can be more relaxed. And use transitions, words like because, therefore, in addition, however, make your email flow and it will connect the ideas in a very natural way. And try to be specific. Don't just say the elevator is bad. You have to mention when, how often, and why it matters. Okay? And proofread. Even small grammar or spelling mistakes can hurt your score. So use your last few minutes to clean things up. Don't overcomplicate. Try to use simple but varied sentence structures and avoid overloading with very long or overly fancy sentences. Here, the clarity is more important. Got it? That's all for today's video. Kindly like, share, and subscribe for more self-help tips. See you in the next video. Bye bye.